Hey YouTube, Cecelialane here. Hi. So we are at 2 weeks now. Uh, 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 uh. Okay, so pretty exciting times. I know I just did an update, so there's not like a whole bunch to update, but I do have stuff to talk about, of course, because I love talking. Anyways, 2 weeks out. Went into my revision at 205, and last week I believe I was 193, or I think it was 193. Yes. And then this morning I was 191.4. So that is a total loss of 1.6 pounds, I think, which is great. I'm super happy because, I had all that bounce back. And even with all the bounce back, I still came down. That's right. And that means, too, next week, by this time next week, hopefully I shall have lost that 1.4 and be in the 180s. So happy. Uh, the poopy is finally evening out. Like, it's getting into a little routine, a little pooty routine, and I'm feeling like I can handle that. Like, I was really having pooty hole exhaustion. I know that's not a thing, but I just made it a thing, so now it's a thing, and I was having it. My pooty hole was like so sad. It was so tired of all the pooty. But now it seems like I'm pootying in the morning when I first get up. I pooty sometime in the middle of the day, and then I pooty in the evening. And that's pretty much it. May have like just a little bit in between here and there occasionally, but for the most part, it's getting to be like a morning, afternoon, evening thing, which is great because I watched a I don't know, something that some doctor did, a bariatric surgeon. And one of the things she stated for DS and SIPS, SADI-S loop patients is that the goal is to get them having a bowel movement, or as I call it, pootying, because I like pooty better. Bowel movement just sounds bowel movement. Who came up with that word? I know I'm digressing right now, but can we talk about the term bowel movement? Who wants to hear about moving bowels? I don't. I don't think you do either. That's a really gross term. You don't even need to create connotations to come up with that term. It just automatically has gross stuff attached to it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I like pootying much better. So, digression over. That the goal is to have you pooty 2 to 3 times a day. And I am now pootying 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah, it's not all day anymore. It's not all freaking night, so I don't get to get any rest, and I'm exhausted the next day. It's just morning, afternoon, and night. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Occasionally, I wake up in the middle of the night with a lot of pressure, and I know I must run to the bathroom. Yeah. Hasn't been like the kind of emergency where shit happens. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Okay. But it has been urgent, like an urgent pressure need that has awakened me and told me, get your ass up and get to the fucking bathroom, like right now. So I'm okay with that. That's all right. Just I go in there and 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes later, come back out and I go back to bed. And that's cool. It's all cool. And that only happens once a night lately. And it's gone down to just once a night if it happens at night. And it doesn't happen every night now. I've been doing well with my protein and my protein shakes and my the amount of my portions that I'm eating and how often I'm eating, etc. I'm really proud of myself. I thought because nothing had been done to my stomach that like all hell in a handbasket, it wasn't going to work because I was going to eat way more than I could shit out, pooty out. way more than I could pooty out. But it hasn't been that way. Um, I don't know. It's all in the head. It's all in the head, I swear. So that's improved drastically. um, my portions and things like that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, besides that, I'm just loving the weight coming off. I feel it. I see it now. Man, I see it so much in my face, which I love. Oh, I was getting that poofy, like, I swallowed some nuts, or I had some nuts. I was probably storing shit for the winter. Like a squirrel. That's what I look like. I look like I was storing away some stuff for later. Because sometimes you get hungry, you just want to. That was good. That was good. I needed that little snack. Yeah. I didn't need any more snacks. I had snacks for days up in these cheeks. They were getting like jowls. I think that's such a great word. Jowls. Does anybody else like words the way I like words? Where like you hear a word and you're like, God. My husband and I talk about that. We're like, that is such a cool word. It is such a cool word. Anyways, yeah, jowls. I was getting jowls and it was not attractive. I did not like it. And my jowls are finally going away. My cheekbones are coming back out again. And my chin is back to single digits. Because we like single digit chins. And that's pretty much it. I have not tried any on any of my small clothes, which is pretty much all of my clothes in my closet, because I've been so adamant about refusing to accept the fact that I had gotten fatter or fat or whatever. So I had been living in leggings. I'd been living in leggings for like the last year and a half, just because I was like, I'm not dealing with it. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. I didn't look in the mirror. I didn't want to see it. Like, it was just an off the boards topic. Like, do not even bring it up to me. I don't want to hear it. And so I just didn't put on any of my clothes anymore in the closet. If they didn't have an elastic waistband or stretchy material in the shirt, I didn't wear it. That was just it. Just didn't do it. Yep. Off of the list. So I am excited to go ahead and try those clothes on again, but I want to wait till I get down to like 175, 180. Probably 175 to tell you the truth. Because I should start fitting back into the very few 10s that I had. Because I had bought some 10s, like you buy some stuff when you're losing weight and you freaking love it. And you just can't get rid of it. And then it doesn't look bad. I mean, it just looks, a little more comfortable, a little more relaxed. It's all right. And so I didn't get rid of those 10s that I really loved. So hopefully I will be able to fit back into some of my 10s by 175 and even some of my larger 8s. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to it. So obviously I have like a month or two before that happens, which is okay. I'm cool. I'm rolling with it. I'm good. I know what's coming. I know what's coming. I'm excited. I choked on my own spit. Hold on. Yeah, that's me. That's me right there in a nutshell. I choked on my own spit. No comment. So that's really it in terms of update for that. And I don't want to run on for a really long time. What I do want to talk about is one of my subscribers who I also follow, and I just love to death. Cynthia, I think she writes it like Corinthia. But I always, when I read it, I'm funny like that. I make up new names for people the way my mind wants to read it. However my eyes want to see it and my mind wants to read it, that's what I call it. So I'm like, Cynthia. There's this girl on Instagram who has like MNZJ whatever, and I'm like, that's Nicki Minaj. So in my mind, this girl's name is Nicki Minaj, because that's what I've named her, because that's what I see. Yeah, we already know I'm weird, so I'm just letting you in on a little more of the weirdness of cecelialane. But anyway, so Cynthia, amazing woman. I've been following her for a while now, and great supporter. Oh my gosh, she gives such great support. Thank you so much, Cynthia. I love you, girl. She posted a video this morning that just blew me away. Blew me away. And I'm going to include a part of it at the end of here, and also the information and link and everything so that you guys can view this video. And her topic was, let's talk about, look at me. Isn't that so sad I cannot remember? Let's talk about food, eating disorders. Dear Lord. Let's talk about eating disorders or my eating disorder. And she has suffered from an eating disorder for years. And it's as a result of emotional and physical trauma in her younger years, like myself. And like myself, she has used food to, number one, fill this hole that, that abuse gouged out of her. And that's really what it feels like. It feels like somebody like took a big ass shovel or fork thing or whatever and like gouged out your insides, and there's this huge hole in there. You're just all fucked up from it. And so you try and use food, drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, whatever people's addictions are to fill that hole. And then second of all, that she would push herself to eat to excess. And I don't know if any of you remember in one of my previous videos talking about my childhood trauma, where I said I had this habit of number one, eating a lot to try and make myself gain weight and become unattractive and invisible, so that I wouldn't be bothered anymore. And then second of all, because I felt like it was my fault and something was wrong with me, and that my body was betraying me and all this stuff, I would actually overeat to hurt myself. And there was something comforting in that pain and that hurting of myself. And same two things, eating to fill a void and overeating to the point of pain and severe discomfort. Where now that she's had her VSG, of course she goes in the bathroom and makes herself throw up, because obviously that is, being super full after having weight loss surgery has to be one of the most miserable things. You think it was miserable when you were fat? Ain't nothing. I can't take it anymore. It will come right up. I don't even have to do anything. Just lean over and it's all out of there. But anyway, so she was talking about how I have to say it was the most amazing revelation. And you know how like you have ideas or thoughts in your head, but you haven't formed them into words yet and articulated them and turned them into a like physical idea that's out there, because you're still keeping all that stuff inside. So you haven't like put it out in the world yet to make it real by talking about it and by naming it. And she did that. She talked about how right after she had the weight loss surgery, it was like a Band-Aid was put on that eating disorder. And it just distracted her. The post-surgery time distracted her from her eating disorder, because she was so focused on learning how to be able to eat and trying to become really healthy and be this person we all want to be. And she got really into all of that. And so she kind of forgot about her eating disorder. And then as time went by and, your restriction reduces and you're able to consume more and you figure out a lot of ways around things, that all of it started coming back. And I mean, rearing its ugly head 10 times worse. And how she just feels like such a total failure, which is so not true. So not true. Because she's done all this eating and gorging and binging and put on all this weight after going through surgery and, losing so much weight and being so happy about it. And now she just feels horrible about herself and like something's wrong with her and she's a failure. And She's afraid of making herself vulnerable and accessible and putting down her barriers, uh, which I thought was amazing. I mean, this girl just had so much insight. And I know she's going to make it. I know she's on her way to recovery, even though she can't see it right now. But because the kind of insight and awareness that she had was just amazing. And it really, like I said, even though I'd had these thoughts and stuff in my head too before, I had never verbalized them the way that she did, which was so succinctly, and it just touched my heart. And I swear I wrote this girl like 50 messages on her thing. If she had had a pager or something, I'd have blown that shit up. It was like I'm a stalker. But I just so connected with what she said, and I could so relate. And I think it's really important that everybody hears her story. So, with no further ado, I'm going to share you the story of Corinthia. I'll put some information up so you guys can see her name because I'm ruining it. All right. Thanks, YouTube. Hey, you like? Please hit the button, like. And remember, I love talking to you, so leave a comment, email me. I want to talk. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you don't have to miss one bit of nuttiness that I have to share. Um, and of course, I'm on Instagram, cecelialane. So please come on over there. I have my pictorial journey going on over there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nutty too, but it's pretty cool. And then I have my website, which has lots of great information. I'm like an information bugaboo, and I love sharing it. I love sharing knowledge. Knowledge is most powerful when it's shared, when it's given away, not when it's kept. I believe in that wholeheartedly. And so please check out my website, get some great information. Let it help you make, this very, very important decision in your life. And that's it. That's it. Or you can email me, Cecilia at WLS with cecelialane.com, or, oh yeah, my website, WLS with cecelialane.com. And now we're off to see Corinthia. Okay, I'm stopping. All right. Bye, YouTube. I swear I need a new phone. This cheap ass phone, right? But it's all that I can afford at the moment. So I'm going to try to capture the light. Let's talk about my eating disorder. In 2013, I had vertical gastric sleeve. I had weight loss surgery. That was one of the tools to try to physically cure or manage my eating disorder. My weight loss surgery did not cure my eating disorder. It temporarily put a band-aid over it. It temporarily focused my attention away from the issues that I had that caused my eating disorder or played a part in my eating disorder. 3 years out of surgery, I think I'm 20 pounds away from where I was the day that I had surgery. I find myself just gorging on food. I eat to the extent to where I'm so full and I'm still eating and I'm still eating and I'm still eating and I'm still eating, to where I eat so much at times to where I throw it up. I find myself sabotaging my weight loss journey. I don't know how to stop. It was just an emotional thing with the food that I needed to fill. I just kept eating and eating and eating and eating. And people think that I don't understand how you had weight loss surgery and you're still able to gorge off of food and you're still able to gain all this weight back. It's because you learn how to
manipulate your stomach. I had the surgery because I had no control. And then the surgery gave me control. And then not to have control again, it's scary. So I go to my doctor's appointment today. And I know that I need to discuss this with him. But to be honest, I really don't want to because I'm 40, right? And I'm still emotionally damaged from my childhood. The abuse, physical abuse, and mental abuse, and sexual abuse of my childhood. Someone looking at this or listening to this would be like, oh, well, all you have to do is just eat right and exercise. No, because if that was the case, then I would have never had weight loss surgery. If that was the case, then I wouldn't be sitting here almost 270 pounds. If it was just so simple as, oh, just eat right and exercise. It's just so much more than that. Like I said, there's just so many things that I haven't dealt with. And it's hard to deal with it because you have to be vulnerable. You have to be weak at moments. You have to be so raw and exposed and so transparent that it's scary. And like I said, there's just certain things that I have not talked about. And I really don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to be that vulnerable. I really don't want to be that exposed because I think that if I am broken down to my weakest point, I think that I'm not going to know how to survive. I don't think that I'm going to know how to get up again. I'm so used to being strong. I'm so used to being the protector and the provider and the nurturer. To be that raw and to be that exposed, I don't know how to do that. All I know is how to fight. I don't know how to be vulnerable because being vulnerable as a child got me black eyes and busted lips. Got me going to school with black eyes and busted lips. Being vulnerable to me reminds me of being a child and being abused and neglected from my mother, at the hands of my mother, at the hands of my mother's girlfriend, at the hands of when I was younger being raped. So being vulnerable, that vulnerable, I never want to be that weak again.